it feels like a lot of this hinges on this idea of this anti-Semitism is a unique hate, and the actions are a unique action. It's a unique evil. It's very special, and it exists outside of other moral framework. And that feels like as a society, we've given a lot of special treatment and special consideration that, well, we would speak in one way about other groups, and when it comes to some particular groups, we have to be very specific or measured, or since they're special, we have to measure every single word because their experience is very unique.
Again, very reminiscent of how leftist groups treat their particular oppressed minority du jour.
So yeah, let me just pull up here.
Miscommunication happens. So I'm going to ask you simple questions that would define anti-Semitism with the vast majority of rabbis, Jews, and theologians. Mm-hmm. Do you believe October 7th was uniquely evil and on a whole other level than anything going on, especially anything going on in Gaza or anything else right now? From the moral, ethical, your point of view as a Christian, I am asking you point blank, do you feel that October 7th, what happened, is uniquely at a whole other level and depth of evil? Yes or no?
I believe that what happened on October 7th is evil. We've seen.
Do you believe it is a whole other level than anything else, especially what is going on in Gaza?
I think that there have been things that have happened historically, like the Holocaust, like what the Bolsheviks did to Christians, the Christian Holocaust, that I
You're
don't...
not answering.
No, I'm trying to answer your question. I guess I would like you to explain to me, in your own context, Holocaust versus what happened on October 7th. Why is October 7th uniquely evil compared to the Holocaust? Maybe you can educate.
In October 7th, there was, you don't know your history about the Holocaust then. In October 7th, the Holocaust was a machine that was made and cost Germany the war.
So you'd say October 7th?
October 7th was a specific intention. Remember that in the Holocaust, the first attacks are war attacks. It is all about a war effort on world domination. October 7th is about to torture and do such horrific things to civilians, to the weak, the innocent, the old. So I'm asking you a very simple question. I'm
honestly, you asked it. I'm ready to answer it. I think it was evil, and if you feel it's uniquely, we've bombed a million Iraqi civilians. You're talking about just like if you're weighing against civilian costs. And again, I think how you said about when you read you watch the Passion of the Christ, and you have your eyes when you watch, and I have my Christian eyes. Very difficult for me to say when the greatest Holocaust that ever happened was against Christians, and what the Bolsheviks did to us, drowning us in barges. I cannot discount the things that have happened to Christians. We are actually the most persecuted religion in the world, and it's never described as uniquely evil. And so what happened on October 7th is evil, full stop. What has happened in the past to Christians, what is happening currently to Christians in Armenia, it's evil. So
and they go back and forth on that.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
It's interesting that he needs to hear that October 7th was uniquely evil. Like I don't really know what he's driving at, like why. I also don't really know why it would be. Like, of course I agree, with both of them that it was evil, and it was one of the worst, horrific terrorist attacks that have ever happened. But like, as opposed to what? Like, and by what metric? Because kind of by definition, like all terrorist attacks are aimed at civilians and the weak and whatever. Like they're aimed to cause their goal is to cause terror and discord and death and suffering. And so like, how do you measure that? Like, I presume what he's saying is the fact that it's directed against Jews and Israelis by a militant Islamic force that that basically exists to eradicate Judaism makes it uniquely evil.
Yeah, it seems really important that she gave that specific answer. And the thing is, this is not a intellectual discussion. This is a struggle session. Feels like he's in there to get her to admit and speak a certain way. And very much, she says that later on, that she does not want anybody to police her speech.
Yeah.
And
this
rabbi,
choose the wrong target if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, she does not like being told what you can and cannot say. And she is very adamant on like, well, here's what I said, here's what I believe. It's pretty clear cut. She condemns Hamas, she condemns the attack, but she still feels for the innocent people getting harmed right now.